All right, hello everybody. Let me adjust the camera here. Not that you want to see my screen, but all right. Okay, so we're waiting for a few people here. So while we're waiting, let me get my screen set up. All right. Got the chat going on. Okay. Stand by 1 second. Okay. Okay, so I know we're waiting for a few people here. We'll wait a few more minutes. Just in case you're wondering, my name is Eric from TopFlight Trades. This is the weekend stock review every Saturday at this time. I pretty much come through this list, go through the stocks list, look at the last week, how our stocks performed on our premium list, take a look at the watch list that we currently have active. And on Saturdays here, I populate the watch list with new stocks, and we update the premium picks list, and then we look forward to next week. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. And so I'm going to keep this video not too long. There's been a lot of stocks on the watch list lately. And I think last week we have 50, 60 stocks. And we quickly went through the charts very quickly. Didn't sit there and analyze each one, certainly. But I probably have not that many. But I intend to go through them a little bit quicker this time. And kind of the point of that, too, is on the watch list. The watch list I like to post on the site. And I will put more of a entry target that I'm looking for each. I'm not going to develop a complete trading plan, not when I have like 50 stocks on my list on the watch, but I will put those together that I keep my eye on and what I look for them to reach the premium picks list. When they reach the premium picks list, essentially they've reached my entry target and they're ready to roll. Okay, so obviously my watch list is going to be much greater. And those are the stocks that are very strong companies, the best companies that are technically setting up to move. And then when they make the premium picks list, those are a little more, those are ready to roll, pretty much ready to go. So, all right. Hey, if you have anybody here, I see there's somebody here. If you want to say hello in the chat, that'll be good. I'm thinking we had probably about 6 people that said they were going to be here today. So I'll still wait a few more minutes here. So if you haven't checked out topflighttrades.com, go check it out right now. It's you can sign up for free lifetime premium membership, and you get all the premium content for everything, and then you get access to participate in this, which I definitely welcome participation. If anybody's on, I've sent invites out to everybody, and if you're on and you want to chime in, turn your camera on, mic, go over some stocks. We've done that in the past, and it's been really, really beneficial. I've gotten a lot out of it as well, and that's always fun too. So I'll just give it another minute here. So how about them Seahawks, huh? We got Super Bowl coming up here in 2 weeks. There's been a lot of stuff in the news about the Patriots and the refs are going after Seattle and all the fines and the NFL and that. And yeah, so anyway, Super Bowl next weekend. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, I'm rooting for Seattle there. So what else was I going to say? Oh boy. Yeah, anyways, things are really starting to set up. There's a lot of stocks on the list here. And this last week, you did pretty well on our premium picks list. I think all of them are in the green. Actually, for this month, the ones that we got into, I think there's only a couple we had stopped out in the beginning of the month, but I was able to tweak a couple things there as far as my entries. And again, earlier this month, the premium picks list, those stocks that made the list were as far as, ready, set, go. They were ready, and then they were set. They didn't have the trigger to enter yet. in some of the setups when they made the list, they didn't reach the entry target, and they failed. So that was a good thing we had an entry target, because some of them didn't meet the requirements and they failed, but they really shouldn't be on the premium list. So basically what I've done is I've kind of notched it back a bit. My watch list will consist of stocks that I'm keeping a close eye on, that I will set entry targets for. When they reach those entry targets, or when they're darn close, they will make the premium picks list. So when they make the premium picks list, they'll essentially be ready to go and enter. So anyways, we're looking pretty good. I'm going to jump on over. It's already a few minutes after. It's 7 minutes after. I don't intend to make this video 2 hours long or anything like that. I intend to go through it quickly, especially if it's just me talking. And again, in all the supplemental information about these stocks, I will be populating this weekend on the website. So if we're going through the watch list and there's a stock that you like, looks really interesting, and you're curious about where a potential entry might be or a stop, go ahead and hit the chat. Where's the chat? Over. I'm pointing the wrong way. It's over there. Go ahead and put it in the chat, or keep an eye on the tables on the watch list here on the website this weekend, and I will populate those through the weekend. I do a lot of work on the weekends, so not everything's prepared right now, but this is pretty much what we're looking at. So I'm going to jump on over to the screen right now. And hey, the other thing too, if you're watching this, look down in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, down here, wherever it is. You might have an HD button. It might let you bump up the resolution quality, and you'll see things a little bit better. I know on the playback it does that. So okay, let's jump over to screen share. I think everybody can hear me okay. All right, so here's screen share. So here's the S&P. This is the daily chart. So things are starting to look up again here. Kind of been up and down all over the place since November here. Anyways, obviously just last weekend, I think we were back down here, hoping to bounce off here. We did. And so certainly the next target here is to see if we can break new highs above this area, and then obviously find new ground. So we're on the right track here. Obviously, we'll see how next week does. NASDAQ's looking about the same. Actually, NASDAQ did close up above that area there. But again, we definitely like to see new highs. And the Dow, how are we looking? Not so much yet. The Dow, we definitely want to see it get up and over. So got a red candle there. And that's right, the market's turned, I believe, on Friday, yesterday. Started out good. What the heck? Oh, stand by. Sorry about that, folks. I forgot to turn something off. Stand by really quick here, folks. Let me do something here. I have a member that's trying to contact me. Might having problems getting on the site here. So let me check something here real quick. So anyways, he's gone. Okay. Hopefully he finds this. I've sent on invites and posted this on the website and everything. So I hope and trust that he finds his way here. If not, there'll be a replay. He's asking about, okay. I'm not sure if he's, what's going on here? I'm not sure if he's on here. He has a request for, oh my gosh, hold on. Where is he? Okay, sorry about that, folks. Okay, he's requesting I take a look at a stock there. He's has his eye on, or he's playing right now. I forget. We've looked at it a few times this week, and we'll get into it. But anyways, so again, let's move on here. So here's the Dow. So looking quickly, let's jump over to the premium picks list. And premium. Okay, so hey, the other thing, if you haven't been able to tell yet, I've updated this site on here. What I had done was, before I had the premium tables listed on here, but I didn't really have a good graphical way to kind of display the setups and the charts. And so basically what I put together was this portfolio page here, which shows all the setups on the premium picks list. Okay, so this is basically, these charts are not live, but this is the trading plan when they made the list. Okay. And so, of course, when you click on these, you can zoom in on the actual chart and it blows it up for you. Or the other option is you click this and it'll take you to the page, which has the charts on there. What I like about this is all the premium picks lists we have right now. What I like about this is this filter tab up here. Okay, so I can click on this and it lists all the premium picks, but I also have embedded in here the watch list. And right now, as of last week, I only had the one on here. Okay, but I also am trying to sort by the table, by the setups as well. I thought that's kind of fun because these setups all, of course, are their success rates are different. And so basically I have ascending triangle, bottom channel support, and breakout. So the difference between ascending triangle and a breakout just is breakouts just breaking into new highs, and you don't necessarily have that triangle formation. But again, they're kind of the same. We're breaking in new highs. So now when we have our plays here, we can sort these. And these, when you filter these by the setup, it will include both premium and current and watch list stocks. Okay. But it just gives you the ability to go see what's in play. What are we looking at for, bottom channel support plays here? And you can see all those here. So I hope that presents the information a little bit better to you. And then of course we still have the premium table. We still have the, sorry about this. We still have the table here. So I did update this. And so, man, I got to turn off all this other alert stuff while I'm doing this video. I apologize. So, stand by. Hold on. Stand by. Sorry for the disruption here, folks. He says he's never used this before, so you know what? We'll see what we can do to help him out here. So go here. Okay. All right, back to it. Okay, so where are we? All right. Anyways, back to the premium picks list. So that's what we got going. And of course we have the watch list table is still here as well, but they will all be. And I also threw some other additional live charts on here for the watch list. So you can kind of get an idea quickly what they're looking like here. The watch list is definitely much longer than this right now. This list was populated last weekend. And I believe we probably had 15 stocks. And of those stocks, when they reached the target, when they reached the entry target, we moved them over to the premium picks list. So this list goes down. Okay, so here in a little bit, I'm going to start populating this with more watch lists. We're going to go through them in the video here, but as far as the table here, I haven't gone through and populated all these yet, but I will go through these and have the stocks listed here. And as we go through the week, as these move along and reach their entry targets, they will move over. So already right now, the webpage hasn't refreshed yet, but AVGO and Lock have reached their entry targets. So those were moved over to the premium picks list, and that'll be updated here. It is already kind of updated, but we'll have the proper links in that in place by tomorrow. So Avgo and Lock are on the premium picks list. Bida, that has failed, and I've taken that off the watch list because that never made our entry and it fell away there. So, but we still have ODP and Serve. We'll take a look at those here in a minute. But anyways, this list here tomorrow, before we start the week, this will be another new refreshed watch list with the entries and all this other information here. And then we'll keep an eye on it. And as the week progresses, a lot of those will move over or they'll come off the watch list. Okay, so that's how that's working. So let's go ahead and jump on over and take a look. And let me see, let me look at the board here and see if he's made it over. 2 viewers. I think it's him. Okay. Did you make it? Okay. And he has some stocks that he's looking for opinions on. So, okay, that's cool. So we'll get to that. But right now, let me run down the list here. And these are stocks. I've also, the other thing, I just updated the new highs and strong demand list on the website as well. Okay. And if you go over here to premium content, you'll come down here to new highs and strong demand. This is just another list of stocks that I like to have. Now, these aren't watch lists or setups. These are just ones for you to keep an eye on. If you're looking for, again, stocks that have moved into high ground, which have strong demand, very strong relative strength versus the S&P in the markets. Okay. So some of these are ready to break out. Some of these have broken out. They're just fun ones to watch. And a lot of these stocks will be on my watch list or they're on the premium picks list. So it's just another list that I like to throw out there. A lot of people like this list. And it's just kind of an awareness thing. They're not part of my premium picks list. But it's just it's a fun list to go with. So, okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go down the watch list, and these will be populated on the watch list. Okay. With more details, but I'll kind of go over them verbally here. So the first one is Ulta. I like this. We're breaking in new ground here. You know, if I saw this last Thursday, I would have set my entry target just above here. So technically, this would be a everybody's coming to this. I don't know if you can see me. I'm on a different window. Okay. Anyway, premium picks list. So this will probably make the list as well. So this is Ulta. I like to set up right now. We're breaking in new highs, kind of have this triangle pattern. Either way, this is definitely an area I like to see. So we'll probably add this to the list right away. Then we have Celgene. Same thing. This is already a few days into it. What I'm kind of cautious about it, when they break into new highs like this, I don't like to chase them after they get above, because sometimes they pull back. And sometimes they pull back and can fail. So this one is actually already on our list, isn't it? This is already on the premium picks list. I already have the trading plan here. Okay. So what we're watching here, we're obviously reached our entry target. So we're moving. What this could do, again, a lot of these stocks, sometimes what they do, not all the time, they'll break into new ground, then they'll pull back, touch support, and then they'll take off again. And that's fine because our stop is down here. Our stop's currently at 3.6%. So we're in good shape there. And target, what I'm looking at here, I'm not going to switch back and forth between the picks list with all the targets, but all this is listed on the premium page. So the immediate target I have right here is about 14.5%. And I believe that is our first target. But go ahead and take a look at the details on the page there. So anyways, we have a lot of room to go. So the good risk reward ratio of just over 4. So we like that. So check out Celgene. One is TriNet. This is on the watch list. I wanted to see this make new higher ground here. So then I'll put that together. I want to see it close above an area here, which I'll dictate that, or I'll show you that on the thing, and then put together a stop, and we'll put that on the watch list as well. AKRX, this was already on our list. This is pretty much on there again. Just because aside from us already being in this and reaching new highs and still have a ways to go, if you were late to this and you missed this initial entry, I'm looking again just in the same criteria. Even though we're already in it, I see another possible entry point, and that's closing up above this area here, and I'll post that as well. Anyways, AKRX is doing really nice. You can see, remember, we got in back here, made our entry, and we've taken off quite nicely since then. And this area here, this green line, was our first target. The second target is just underneath this line. So we're going to reach, it's not seeing the numbers. We're going to, if we, we're going to hit the second target here pretty quickly, I'm going to say. So that's awesome. NXPI. Okay. Here we go. Looks like we've already entered this one. So that's looking good. ACT, this has made the list several times. But this again has come up on my radar. But we are currently in this one, as you can see. This made the premium picks list way back in here. It was back in, I believe it was back in this day. It was back in September. It came up, and I thought it was going to break through the channel at that point. What it did is it came back again and then broke through. So I was just one little series late. But we'd set up the trading plan for it to close above this area. It did, came back, pulled back, touched that area, and now we're going. There. This is a new one here, Texas Roadhouse. This is a setup I like. This is watch list. And so what I'm looking for is this to come up and break into new highs. So I will put together a plan there. If you're looking for early entry on this one, it gets a little more dangerous, kind of in between here. If you did, I'd look for a new, have it close up above a certain area, but then you could hit resistance just immediately above it. And then where would your stop be? So what I'm looking for with this one, just because we're getting kind of tight here in the range and in the channel here in the triangle, I would look for have it close up above an area like probably 35.30. Yeah, I probably put let it close up above that area before I got in. Let it find new highs. And then, of course, also we'll see how the market does at that point. That's going to be, well, not going to be tomorrow, but next week. So, again, that'll be on the watch list. We'll keep a close eye on that one. CMG. I think we've been in this one several times. Same thing, looking for new highs in CMG. AYI. This one's a new one to me. So I'm not very familiar with this company. Just beat earnings by 14%. $1.32 a share. Estimate was 115. Gapped up, kind of came back, pulled. It's kind of holding support on the 13-day moving average line here. And so we'll see what this does here. We kind of got some long wicks here in these candles. So this is a stock I'm looking to watch here for next week. And I'm looking for, I want to see it clear this area here, some wicks here. So I do want to see it close above that area. Again, I like to play the bodies of the candles, not the wicks. So, okay, we got 4 viewers here. Anybody on chat? Okay. I know you don't want me chatting. You want me going through stocks. I get it. But if you have anything to say, go ahead and put it on the chat. It should be on the right there. If you don't see the chat window, over the Google Hangout window, if you put your mouse over kind of on the upper left-hand corner, up over in this area, you might see the menu slide on out, and you'll see a blue box, and it's the chat window. And then that'll come over and appear over on the right side of your screen. So, okay. So let's get back to this. So that's AYI. TSM. Now this one, we've been keeping an eye on. I haven't really liked this one just because look at these candles. I mean, this is all over the place. I think I said last time I wouldn't be able to sleep at night owning this, even though it was going up. I mean, it's just not very orderly. I mean, it's just a lot of gaps, ups and downs. And look at the volume. Average volume, 13 million shares. I mean, wow. This is just nutty. But, I mean, you jump back and look at the weekly, it's moving along just fine. But it just looks sloppy, Well, not really sloppy. It's just, look at this. Back in this area. Gapped up, gap down, gap up, gap down. Just give yourself a stroke. Try not to be emotional with it holding this kind of stock. But look at this. It came down here to support it, 20, 60. Now we're up 23.99. Broke right out of that. So I'm not holding this one or anything right now. So again, we're in a new ground here. So this looks kind of good. But again, I'm pretty cautious on this one. But this might be something you want to play. MNK. This one, as you can see, keeps climbing. We're already in the new ground here. So keep an eye on this, and I tend to put a plan together for MNK. I don't even know how to say it. Malincrode. Not very familiar with it. This is a good one here. Sonic. We've been watching this one for a while. It gapped up and just took off. And now we're holding the 13-day right now. That looks good. So right now, if I were to play this, I would want this to find new highs. You can call it right there. And I would put my stop underneath the 13-day. So let this thing continue up, close up above this area, and it'll probably continue right along. So again, we'll have details on that on the page. Next good one we have here is Papa John's Pizza. This thing's been just moving nicely here since this fall. I mean, look at this. Back in October, 39 bucks. Now we're at we hit a high of 63 and change. Now we're just pulling back to the 13-day. You can see we've held the 13-day all since then. So you know what? Now we're back to it again. So let's let this follow the 13-day. And again, let's let it find new highs. I mean, you get these stocks that are moving. You know, that's why I love finding stocks that are trending upward. You know, the moving averages are all heading upward. I don't want them going down. I want them heading up. The trend is up, you know. So you're even looking at the weekly. Stand back and look. I mean, yeah, it's pulled back, and you know, this is pulled back a few times, but look at the moving averages. Up, up, up. Awesome. This is so that's the 100-week moving average, just pulled back to. Probably pretty painful for getting in at 55 and coming back to 37, but you know what? Came back to support there on the moving average. Right back through it. Came up, crossed above the 13-week moving average, hasn't looked back. So apparently Papa John's is doing quite well right now. So that's a fun one. So yeah, hey, if you want to get on board on this one, we got the pullback right now. If you want to play the pullback, well, you may want to get in right now. It's still above the 13-day. Put your stop just under the 13-day. Don't get shaken out. We don't have a lot of shakeouts through here, but you could play that right now. Get a couple more dollars out of it. Looks like you get you another 3%. But yeah, so that's a good one. Definitely keeping a close eye on that one. Fiesta Group. Basically, the reason why I like this is we are sitting here hugging along the 50-day moving average. Want to see it start making new highs here. Again, I'd put a stop just down here. Might be about 5% under entry if I got in right now. I put the stop just about in here. But I liked it. It's holding the 50-day. So let it continue and then get some ground and move off it and continue upward. SEMO. Okay. This has been on our list a few times recently. We've never played it. I've never played this one. But this goes back to September here. This bottom out before this is November. Markets had that nice big dip in September. October, I'm sorry. So anyways, okay. That dip, it's not. Okay, anyways, we're finding new highs. So let's do it. Looking good. I love it. So we're watching this one. I'll have a plan posted. I expect it to break up in this area. Probably have a little bit resistance in this area, but this is a good, strong company. So let's do it. Here's a new one. Made the list. Steris, STE. Again, same kind of thing. There's a lot of different ways you can play this. You know, you could play this channel right here. Wait for it to break above that resistance there and find new high. So, you know, you could do that right there. Okay, I'm sorry, it's zoomed out a bit. But, you know, really, this is just I see it just kind of a flag here. Just trading sideways for a little bit here. We'll let it break out of this. And once it does, so if next week, if the market's green next week, this thing's just going to go, if you ask me. So ARMK. I typed it wrong. ARMK. Let me check, see if anybody's chatted anything. I don't hear anything. No one's chatting. So either you guys are shy, which I don't believe that, or your chat's not working. I'm not sure. ARMK. Okay, so same thing, looking for some new highs. Let's let this baby climb. Pan W. I like this one. Pan W. It's looking ready. Let me zoom out a little bit, and you can kind of see a little better context here what we're looking at. So up we go, trading sideways a little bit here. We got the 50-day tucked in here. Might come sideways for a few more days, but I'm looking to break above this area here at 127 and change. Okay, so this is a good stock. Again, been moving nicely in the last year. ZLTQ. Now this one I hear a comment. Okay, who is that? The chat. Okay, wait, hold on. I got a comment here. Can't find it. Okay, let me try this again. I'll see if I can explain the chat. Okay, stand by real quick here, folks. Let me stop that sharing. Let me go back to Google Hangouts. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, this might be better. Okay. I'm sorry for the bit here. Okay, so here, sorry. All right, here we go. So here's my window. So I imagine you're looking at a window very similar to this one, right? Okay, so if I, you may not see it, but if you mouse over to the left-hand side, I think it's opposite on your screen, you see these icons that appear. You might have one or two of them that appear. The top one's the chat. I do have it open right now. It should be open and available to everybody. And here is the chat over here. See, I'm only seeing me. I'm only seeing me there right now. So, yeah, I apologize if it's not there. So let me look one more time here. I have the chat window. It says it's open. It says it's working. Nobody else has cameras or microphones on today, huh? Okay, let me look here. Stand by. Let me try the Q&A. Okay, tell me now. I got this Q&A thing open here. Oh, and here I see a couple Q&A questions. Okay, right at the chat is part of the Google Hangout window here. It's supposed to be. Okay, so here I see Top posted a question. Okay, so I just selected that answer. Okay, currently answering. Do you think, can you please analyze US dollar versus Japanese yen? I don't do the Forex, top. So, I mean, from a technical standpoint, let me see if I even find it here. All right, stand by. Let's take a look here. USD JPY. Nope, it's not a hangout. It's just a webinar. Okay. Okay. Well, guys, I apologize for the confusion with this. I'm on this end of the webinar and not that end, and so I will have to get this straightened out, because from what I'm told, this is a lot easier than what it is here. Okay, let me get back to the window. All right. Okay, those same tools are not accessible to you guys, apparently. I'll have this figured out. Thanks, Ryder. Thanks for the feedback, guys. I apologize. I'll have this figured out by next time. I'll set up another machine and chat with myself here and get a better look at what you're looking at. I've sat in these webinars with other people. I have different study groups that I'm in as well. I study different hangouts, different interests with other people around the country, and this stuff pops up. But I'm not the expert with Google. You know, I don't know if that moderator or that person is doing anything special to make it visible. I show it's visible. All right. Well, I apologize. I'll just continue along here. If you guys have a specific video or a stock you want me to look at, go ahead and you can send me a message. I'm on Google Plus, and of course you have my email, topflighttrades@gmail.com, or put a comment on the website. I'll address it. Okay. So and I will be spending a lot of time in this tomorrow. So I probably won't get it today after this, but I will address it by tomorrow. So before the week starts. So, okay, guys, sorry for the confusion with that. What a mess. I hate that stuff. Okay. So we're going to jump back here. And again, these stocks, I'm going through kind of quickly. They'll all be posted. The watch list will be updated. So we already went over CMO. Okay, so PenWS. Okay, ZLTQ. What I was saying, I believe. Good Lord. Okay, ZLTQ. Someone pointed this one out to me, I believe. I think it came up in discussion somewhere, and what a good looking stock. It's rated high. I believe it's an A plus. Good strong outfit here. So I really like this setup. This is definitely a favorite of mine. Now this, you look at my setups here that I have, and they all look very common. And I'd mentioned it before on the type of setups you should have. Everybody has different trading styles and different setups. You don't need to know every single setup. You don't need to know every single trade candle pattern and all that kind of stuff. It's good to learn them, but I would say, focus on ones that really work, ones that are, tools that you really want to have in your tool belt. Again, it's good to know about candles and different setups, but you're going to find you're going to have 2, 3, 4, maybe one setup that works for you, is consistent. You're going to master it. You're going to be able to, you're going to identify these patterns. You're going to see these things that other people aren't going to see. You're going to say, hey, you know what? The volume's not there, and I got some divergence down here, and this thing's not going to do it. And whatever it may be, you're going to soon figure these out. And I know when it comes to trading, it's exciting to have all these different setups and all that. You don't want the same setup. But you know what? If you're making money off the same setups, you're going to stick with it, right? So I know it's really nothing new with these patterns. They're all looking the same. But you know what? They perform. So that's the bottom line. When you're making money, you can spend all the time you want looking at other patterns, right? So I guess I'm not going to apologize for these simple patterns, but I just love them. They're awesome. So again, here's ZLTQ. Love it. You got higher lows. We're plugging away. You got resistance up here. We're going to pop it, so awesome. Looking good. Next, we have Acor. What do we got going here? Why did this make my list? I think pretty much looking a short-term new high. Yeah. Nice run. We're still holding the 13-day. As long as we're holding the 13-day, all these stocks could be really in play. But, I kind of like that area right there. Call it 44. We'll see. I'll put more details together here. But as Acor, STZ. Did I already cover this one? No, I covered STE. Here's STZ, Constellation Brands. Okay, this thing's been climbing, just pulling back a little bit, pulling back a little bit, pulling back a little bit. Here we came back to the 13-day. This line we have here is a 5-day. Again, doesn't really mean much, but kind of a quick indicator for me a little bit. I don't trade by it, and I've said that 10,000 times, I know. But anyways, we'll see what this does. This could come back to the 13-day, or we could move right along. And if it does move right along, we want newer highs. Know what I mean? So let's do that. Okay. Anyways, keep an eye on the watch list. AMBA. Okay, so this one here, AMBA's one I've played a few times. We'll see what this does. We're kind of pulling back here a little bit. Again, we got the 50-day here. We'll see if we can find new highs here soon. Love to see that. The stock definitely can do it. In fact, IBD did a big profile on it in this week's paper, talking about how, they're where was it? Well, I'm not going to get into it. I'll post it. Anyways, their growth is just off the charts. I'll post the story. It's really, really good. So it's definitely a good company to stick with long term. And I like those companies. I can play them in and out all day long for the next 3 years. That's awesome. Here's UVE. Simple setup here. We kind of broke in new highs, and now we're kind of getting that pullback. It could pull back to the 13-day or come back to this area here, about 20, 21, and then go again. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Yeah. CNC, same thing. We're finding new ground right now. Are we going to pull back, touch it? Or are we going to continue? We'll keep an eye on CNC. Another one I kind of like here is Cavium. We have earnings coming up here pretty quick. 23 cents. Last it was 21. We didn't meet earnings. And, you know, here you missed earnings and it takes off. Earnings, man, it's just a wild card. Missed earnings, took off. What the heck? You know, we go through these, we look at companies that beat earnings and they tank. Doesn't make any sense to me. Well, except that people are happy and they're trying to sell into strength, I guess, but there is no strength. Okay, so anyways, we got earnings coming up, 23 cents. We got the 50-day here. We might get a bounce off the 50-day and start heading to new highs. So we could get a play back in here, or we could get a play or a secondary play up in here. G-Net, I think we're touching it already. ABC. Okay, so this one's already kind of playing out a bit. I believe this is no, this wasn't on the watch list yet. But anyways, I kind of like this. We could probably get a play out of that. We got earnings coming up here. That's why I drew the yellow vertical line here. It's kind of so you don't forget about not recognizing that earnings is coming up soon. 96 cents is the expectation. What was it previously? $1.05 and we beat it. Previously 92, we beat it. So let's pay a dividend as well. 29 cents, 23 cents. Okay. Let's jump back to the weekly here and take a look at this. Oh, there's the weekly. Oh, yeah. So this thing's still under $100. Knowing that it's at 94.73 right now. So one thing I can tell you, $100 will be some resistance. So that'll definitely, if we play this, 99 and change will be a target because it'll probably bounce off, hit resistance at 100. Doesn't mean it won't go through it. It might bounce around up there for a while, but just as far as that, we can expect that. ERX. Okay. We just covered this one recently here. Anyways, keeping an eye on this one. We're already getting into new highs again. ILMN. I kind of like this one. Now what this has done, you can see we've come up here and hit resistance, bounce back, hit resistance, resistance, resistance. Finally broke through it. Support, support, support. Now we're finally going to take off. So now we have new resistance here. 196. And that being 196, I'm going to say resistance is at 200. Because again, these big round numbers. Yeah, there's 199. So close enough. Okay. So for sure to play this, I'm going to want it to clear one. I'm going to want it to clear 200, close above 200. I'll tell you that right now. We're already at the top of this range here. So, yeah, probably get the same kind of action after it. I don't know. Anyways, looking at 200 there, but I kind of like that one. I got that check marks by that. STE, we already covered. Yes, we did. ESRT. Okay. Excuse me. Empire State Realty Trust. We've talked about this one a few times. I mean, look at this run. Just sweet. Got this pullback now. Matter of fact, yeah, we did talk about it back here in the pullback. It was last weekend's video, and I think we mentioned it earlier this week. Here we go. So now what we're talking about, new highs. Yeah, awesome. This will probably make the premium list Monday. We close up. That's what we want to see. New highs, looking good. Hey, look at the price too. You guys like cheap stocks. 1833. You can get this under 20 bucks. Got earnings coming up here soon. Let me throw this on here. Earnings. And you know, when you see these earnings coming up, it's always good to double check the day. Because I see this is in 11 days on the 4th. But I'll look sometimes at like Investors or MarketSmith. Sometimes it'll say like the 3rd. And I know the dates aren't always set in stone. But it's when it's coming close, always check other sources to make sure that you have the most updated information in case you want to get out before earnings or buy before earnings. So, so that's ESRT. I really like this one. I've just been holding the 13-day moving average all the way. I mean, coming back here to November anyways. What a nice run, 15 to 18. Pull back. Let's do it. New highs. Let's go. Okay, PKG. Check again, make sure no one's on chat. I know it's broken, but let me look again. No one's there. Okay. PKG. Okay, PKG. I'm not running multiple screens right now, or I'd have the premium picks list and watch list next to me. I see this here. I don't know if this is something I'm kind of quickly throwing together, or if this is, this is not on our premium picks list right now. So, anyways, this started to, or I'm watching it. This is probably a watch list play here, because this is watch list. This is what I'll be putting together for a lot of these for that'll make the list tomorrow. I will put trading plans together. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm guessing. I started to do this. I want to see it close above this here. Okay, so this is a watch list play right now. We are down here. Let's get it, find new highs. And I can tell you one target right now we're looking at is just under 90. Actually just under 89. So, and we have earnings right here. Oh boy, look at that. I better draw that line right there. Earnings, was that tomorrow? Monday. No, the 26th. 2 days. How have we done? Met expectations back there. Let me do this. Met expectations. Met expectations, and it just took off. Wow, that's kind of good. Beat expectations, plummeted. Okay. PKG. How can I be 40 minutes into this already? Okay. JLL. Jones Lang. LaSalle. Okay. Kind of see the pattern here. Oh, here's earnings. Mark that while we're here. And we have that right there, like that. And then we have an upward, have that. Something like that, right? All right. Looking good. Love it. Let's have a good week and pop through that. And we have earnings. You know, that's the thing. It's just amazing when you have these charts, when they set these plays up. That earning right there could be what just pops this, like you wouldn't believe. This will probably come up this week. We'll trade sideways. It'll bounce around here, hit this, and boom. And it'll be a perfect ascending triangle breakout because of the earnings. And here's the clue right there. Or it could fail. Who knows? Whoa, look at this. Earnings. 231 was earnings, and then they beat expectations by 30%. Wow. Took off nicely. What's the earnings expectation now? 384. Oh, they raised the bar on them. Probably for a good reason. This is okay. Well, I'm not going to speculate. I haven't studied it yet, but SWI. Did we already do this one? SWI. Okay, so this is kind of a bottom channel support kind of a play. We're underneath the 50. I'd like to see it get above the 50, but we're kind of been flagging here. This has got to end here soon. Solar Winds got earnings coming up. Maybe that's going to be what does it. Earnings going to be outstanding. It's just going to pop it. Doesn't show what the expectations were. 34 cents, 43 cents. Expectations are 40. So keep an eye on this one. LinkedIn. Someone mentioned this one not long ago. Back when it was back down here. And I didn't like it, which is fine. But now we're coming up to my kind of play. So basically, I had originally identified this kind of this triangle here, this lower support line here. We broke through all that. To me, that's danger sign. Watch out. We came back down to this level here. You can see the support. If you follow it across, you can. Where is that? Right there. Let's draw that in there really quick. Right about in here, right? Well, what do you know? Here we are. Okay. Now we bounced right off that. Now we're coming to new highs, and that's what gets my attention. So now you can see how my old trend line was drawn. Now we're going to adjust it. Okay. So we could bounce off it, come back down again, bounce around, or we could find new highs and take off. But it's got my attention is this right here, break in new ground. So watch list. It is on. Okay, EW. Same thing. Holding the 50-day there. Let's find new highs. It did break above. It did break above and failed and pulled back down. So I'd be a little cautious. At least wanted to clear 135 area. But, you could get in here. But, again, could fail a second time. Holly. Okay. I don't know what's going on there. Disregard. Well, it's on the list, but I'll provide more detail later. GFF. Okay. MNRO. Okay. Yeah, new highs there. AKM. Okay, so this is kind of one of these bottom channel plays. Kind of came off there. Got the 200 day here. Finally cleared above it, cleared above the 100 day. So the channel I had drawn. Again, it's pretty sloppy. It's probably off the weekly. Yeah, roughly off the weekly. But yeah, this weekly chart makes a little bit better sense here. So yeah, so now here we are. Let's go bounce off that and find new highs. So that's kind of a good one. Then there's Cyber, recent IPO. I guess it goes back to when? October, September. Yeah, up, pull back. What I'd like to see here, at least, is do better than that. Break through that. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Well, anyway, so that's why it's on the watch list. We'll keep an eye on it. So that's the watch list. All the details will be updated. Let's EPZM. Henry will be happy. EPZM. All right. I will give credit to Henry. Henry's been talking about this one for quite a few days. I'll say even back to here. He's been talking about this one for a while now. So, Henry, it's been doing good. I believe I'll have to look back, but we talked about it a few points back in this area. I forget where. Didn't meet my eyes yet as far as what I wanted to see yet. I think we obviously saw this high here. It pulled back to it, came back to support. Kind of I you can see my line here. It's where I want to see it bounce up to. I didn't think it really would. Company's not rated very high fundamentally, but that's fine. I mean, the technical plays still often work. It's just I put a lot of confidence. Doesn't mean that the setups aren't there, but again, we're talking about my plays where I put my money. Doesn't mean they're wrong, you know. But look at this. So here we have this horizontal channel here, really. So you come down to 16, you come up here to what? Call it 20. Yeah, there's a $20, nice round number. Kind of tested it again, then back, and now we're back up. So are we going to trade sideways for a while? Or are we finally going to break into new ground? Now we break into new ground. Looking back a few days, looked like a really tough, tall order to come back up to this area, but we're there. Now this looks good, okay? And so we closed above it. We closed above the 50. So where are we at next? Okay, now we're into new highs, okay? So assuming next week isn't, the biggest doom and gloom week and the markets are down, because again, this thing could come right back down to this area. But if we're up, this thing could really go. Or if this company has some good news or something. But we are in a new ground here. So what are we looking at next? Where's our next areas of resistance? Let's say probably 2236. If you zoom over, you can see we've come down to this area. I could throw it on the map here. I mean, call it, it's not perfect. Call it there. Where else do we have? I'd probably say maybe about in there. Something like that. Better yet, let me delete that. Let me see here. Let me draw in some. Let me draw the Fibonacci. Okay. And don't criticize the way I draw the Fibonacci. I play the bodies, not the candles, but that's just my system. Anyways, kind of looking back here. Heading downward, get a bounce back here. I did go through the 78. So I would expect it to come to the 61.8 line area here. Maybe. That's kind of hard to say. Anyways, let's get above the 5th, which we are. Next thing I see is, we're going to probably come up to the 100. So by the time it gets up to here, it could come up here to this range right here. There's that line I just talked about. Isn't it right in here? Where does it go? By the time it travels this way, 50 days is going to come down. It could probably come up here to 22 range. Yeah. Either way, Good call on that, Henry. If you played it, I don't know. I'm forgetting if you did or not, but I think you did start. You get in back down here, didn't you? Either way, you got a nice run going. You got in probably from $17 up to 20, and we are above 20. We're at 2010, so good. I hope that answers your question, Henry. I like keeping an eye on this one now. So, yeah. So if you guys have any other stocks that you kind of want an opinion on, let me know. Email me. Put it on the forums. Let's do Stock Twits, Google Plus, wherever. I'm all over the place. So, how about we look at the premium picks list here really quick? I think you can still see this. Okay, premium picks. Yes, you can. Okay, premium picks. Let's look at premium really quickly here. Okay. Can you see our chat? Oh, questions and answers. Okay, hold on. See, that's weird that yes, I can. Okay, sorry guys. I thought the questions and answers part would notify me. Okay, Opa, Amazon. Hello. Okay. All right. Stand by here. Oh, you can't check. Hey, yes, I will. Okay. No, brother, where'd I go? Okay. Let me look at this again. Let's jot this down real quick. You got Opa, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Juno. These are questions in the list here. So, okay. Opa, let's jump over to Opa real quick here. Invalid symbol. Opa. OPA. Okay, I'll jump over to Amazon. If you can make sure that's correct and repost it in the questions and answers. The correct symbol for Opa, unless it's something really obvious I'm missing. Amazon. Okay. Kind of looking the same as a EPZM, huh? Okay, so this is just what I quickly do. I like to draw on support and resistance. Draw all over your charts, folks. You can always delete it. But sometimes you can tend to see things that you might not always see. Lines don't have to be perfect. Haha, I'm at Opa, the parent. Okay. All right. Lines don't have to be perfect, folks. Let's move it. Okay, this is the weekly. Okay, so this is what I've quickly drawn here for Amazon. Okay. Now, we're talking about knowing all the different kind of charting patterns. Okay. If you knew them all and studied them all, you'd see a lot of them all the time, probably. Okay, so what jumps out at me here is a descending triangle. This is bearish. Okay, this is the opposite of an ascending triangle. Okay, here we got the horizontal support and the descending resistance. Okay, so if you look at the textbook, this would say this is most likely going to fail and drop. Now we're looking at the weekly here. Okay, so what do we want to see? For that to not occur, we want to see this pattern break, right? Well, one way to do that is to break out of this area here. Once we break out of this area, it's no longer a descending triangle. Okay. Yeah, you could say, well, here, okay, I can redraw it. Okay. We can do that to be technical. Okay. And yeah, I suppose if it got up here, you could say, hey, you could lift it all the way up there. It makes it weaker. Let's just do that. We got the 50-day here, but either way, this is a descending triangle. So to play it safe, then I'm going to put that up there. Then I'm going to want to see it close above this area and probably hopefully make a new high. Okay, so this could trade sideways a bit. I'm going to want to see it This is the weekly. I'm going to want to see it be above the moving averages out of this channel, hopefully to a new high. That could be this area right here. You're like, oh, that's $40 later. I don't, just depends how much risk you want to take. It might be a good play to get in low right down here, off this support line. Put your stop tight. It's just going to go up. It could bounce, Okay, so back to the daily here. So let me zoom out a bit and we can kind of see what we're looking at. Okay, so here's our descending triangle. We've come back to where is that? 284 twice. Come back here to that range as well. So 4 times. I'm sorry. Okay, so here we are. So where are we at now? We're on the daily. Okay, what I see are these moving averages. Okay, now the moving averages, the quicker ones don't always, well, I won't say that. I would say the quicker moving average wrong. But let me correct myself. That's not always true. We've looked at a lot of charts today on stocks that are trending upward and they're holding the 13-day. They might hold that, but I wouldn't say that they have as much strength as far as support and resistance. They're above it. They're not really testing it, I guess. But when I look at a chart, though, I look up, and of course, I want to see what kind of support and resistance there is ahead of us. Okay, so looking at this now, I always look to see what's next. Where's our last peaks? Okay, I see that right now. We're at that area right now. Next above it, I see this. Okay, and then I see the moving averages. So how do you play it? Well, if I were to play this right now, and I'm just absolutely overjoyed and sold on Amazon, I don't know their financials, but I would, again, let me put the line in here for earnings to remind me when I look at the chart. I'd probably want it to clear above, find a new high, and get up at least above the 100-day moving average here, perhaps. Then we also have, where do you put the stop? Well, I'm looking at the stop down here below 284. So let me just throw my little dealy bob in here. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to put my target up here to this new high. It could be down here if it follows this pattern. Let me adjust this, adjust that, get a little room here so you can see. Now let me pull this back down. Okay, so this is my problem. I don't like to take a stop more than 8%. So I would put my stop here. I mean, you could put it up here, but there's nothing. There's not a lot of support here. Okay, really your next support point is down here, and this is clearly support. We've held it for the most part. So I would put it underneath there, but you're looking at, if you want to put it down a little bit more to make sure you don't get shaken out if it comes back down, you're looking at 9-10%. That's too much for me. So this is too late, and the risk reward isn't great enough. Okay, I mean, because really you could say you're probably going to come down. You're probably going to come down to this channel here. You're going to risk 10% for 5. So, again, so in the setups that I have, they're either bottom channel plays, essentially, where they're going to come down and hit support, or they're breaking into new highs. And the reason I like those is because I can get my stops reasonable. Okay, so if we were to come down here, what am I doing? Okay, so if we were to be down here, let's say it was this day, and let's say I put my stop in the same spot, I could put it here. Now we're talking 5%. Well, that's much better. And I mean, obviously, yes, we're looking back, and you can say, hey, you're just going back and, but we're kind of in the middle of the range. So what I look at first is, where am I going to put my stop? How much am I going to risk for this thing to go? And we're too high for that right now. Unless you want to put your stop up higher. So let's do this again. Let's go back here. Let's say we get in this tomorrow. Okay, so let's say there's our new, and let's just put that up there. So, I mean, you could put your stop right here underneath this. This could be reasonable. Sorry, let me zoom in. Okay, so let's say you got in Monday. You're green. Okay, so that's what you're hoping it does. You could put your stop right here. Thing's not showing. Stupid thing. Okay, there we go. It's at 4%, 4.5%. We're underneath the 13-day moving average. underneath the body of the previous big candle here. Okay, so you could play it. You know, we're all different in our trading styles. It's how much you're going to risk. Okay, and then of course look up to see what kind of target you have above. Again, the first one I see, if we clear this first resistance here, the next one I see is up here at 341. But then we also do have this channel zooming out. That's what I really want to see cleared. So I'd keep an eye on this one, and I don't know how the stock does, how it's scored fundamentally here. I know Amazon for years hasn't made $1, or they probably do now. But, you know, years ago and studying, getting my business degrees and everything, we always talked about Amazon, how they hadn't made a profit in the first 10 years. And even though they're selling tons of books and products, they still weren't making any money. They reinvested everything. Okay, that was Amazon. Then we have Microsoft, the world's worst company. I hate Microsoft. Oh, my gosh. But I won't give you a biased, I'll try not to give you a biased opinion. Okay, we got earnings, what, Monday? Earnings, 2 days. That'd be Monday, right? Beat earnings last time. Missed earnings the time before. Okay, so anyways, what do we see here? Let me draw the trend line here. I see, let's just put it up here. Okay, I see that. I kind of see this kind of wedge kind of thing going on. Right? Asymmetrical triangle, a wedge, whatever you want to call it. Everybody calls this stuff differently. It's just most important you recognize it. This could go either way, obviously. Either up, down, or sideways, right? But usually this will, when we get down here and get into this range here, or sooner, pop up or pop down. We got earnings. That's going to be a big player here. Okay, so again, if you were to ask, if I were to look at this, again, what I see this upper channel here I'd want to clear. I see the moving averages. I see this previous high I'd want to get above. So for me, there's a lot of area here. Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, it's where you're going to put your stop and what your targets are. But we break out of this area here. I'd probably wait a little bit and see if we can at least get above out of the channel here. See where it goes. This could hit this channel and come back down. But we got earnings. Earnings is the big player here. It's a big unknown, a big variable. Yeah. So I don't have much of an opinion on that. I guess Monday we'll find out when earnings comes out. So sorry on that one. Then we have Apple. Okay, now here's Apple. Apple, this is breaking out of that now. This looks good. I like this. Okay. We also have earnings. I don't play Apple a lot. Some people play it religiously. So I guess I really can't give you an opinion on earnings in that. They beat earnings. Now, estimate $10, and their earnings was actually $1.66. What the heck? Either way, it gapped up and took off. Must be an error. Okay, so what do we have here? Same thing. You know, you could say, oh, why, it's another descending triangle. But it's now failing. It broke out of it. At least that. Could you go like that? And I suppose you could. But for right now, this was the original pattern we see here. We broke out of it. We're above the 50-day. Let's hold the 50-day. Let's find new highs and let's go. If I were to play this, I would wait for... If I were to play this, I would wait for it to close above that blue line. Okay? Because what do we have above it? Really, the next thing's at 119. So it could be a quick play there. Yeah. And for a stop, I'd probably, if I were to play it here, I'd see where the moving averages are and probably put it underneath maybe the 50, assuming the 50 kind of keeps along this area here. I might put a tight stop, maybe about 111. If you had more room, you could put it maybe down there. Either an error or flagrant market. You guys said everybody. I missed that. Oh yeah. Oh, everybody won't be treated all the same. Thanks, Ryder. Okay, so that is Apple. Let me go back to Q&A and see if there's any other questions here on the. I want to play. Okay, so all right. I got filled at 290. I'm sorry, I don't know which one you're talking about there. Was that Amazon? No. All right. I want to play a dividends of Microsoft. Dividends. What do we got for Microsoft dividends? And 31 cents. 28. Yeah, Microsoft. They're from my area out here. I think they're the second worst company in the history of business. Just because I've had years of frustration. Okay, Amazon. Okay, all right. So, any other suggestions there? Okay, premium picks list. Let me look at this really quick. Here's the premium picks list. So what this list is, this is from January. Okay, there's technically is still some in play from 2014, like Guild and a couple others. But I started the new list here, cleaned this up, tried to make this format better for the new year. So when things made the premium picks list, it starts in January, top of January. The other thing about this is about halfway through January, like I explained earlier, my premium picks list was kind of flawed, I guess, when I posted stocks to the list. What is the first worst? Oh, the first worst on the companies. Okay. The worst company in the history of business, going back 10 million years, is CenturyLink, Quest, US West, CenturyTel. They're all the same. They've morphed into new companies. They have the worst customer service in the history of anything. They're expensive. Their quality of service is the worst. Absolutely the worst. I've been a customer of theirs in different states, from different company names, and they just suck. The worst. Yeah, number two is Microsoft, because I can't believe anybody pays Microsoft for the products they produce. It's garbage. And then government and universities and our schools embrace it. It works. I work in government as well. And no wonder government can't produce anything, because we rely on Microsoft. It's just garbage, absolute garbage. I'm a new Apple guy. This year, I finally, after 20 years, quit complaining about Microsoft, and I put my money where my mouth is, and I went out and I bought an iPad, and the internet was brand new to me because everything works on an iPad. And I went out and bought a Mac Mini, iMac Mini. It's just, yeah, incredible. Anyway, so here's a premium picks list. Do they trade on exchange, or can I short them? What? US West, Quest, CenturyLink. I don't know. I don't know if they're public at all. Interesting. They must make money. I mean, they're still around, but I've never heard anybody actually make a compliment about them. They're the worst. Okay. So anyways, this list, basically, as I was saying, when the stock made my premium picks list, it wasn't always ready for entry necessarily. It was kind of primed. It was looking good. Well, and then I post the trading plan, because I was asked to produce more of a detailed trading plan, share what I was looking at. Okay. And so I'd put in my entry target, put in my stops, that type of thing, and it wouldn't reach my entry target, and it would fail. CenturyLink, yeah. It would fail. And well, why is that on the premium list? It didn't meet the setup. It didn't meet the criteria for entry. So I'm like, oh yeah, of course, that's right. It makes sense. So as I provided more detailed information and presented this to you, I realized that I need to have my watch list, and I'll set my entry targets. When it reaches those entry targets, it'll make the premium picks list. Okay, because some of those had failed and fallen off. Okay, so we don't want those. If they're not going to meet, my expectations, I don't want them on the list. Okay, so in looking back, I'm not going to do that today, but looking back in a lot of those, if you go back to previous posts, you'll see those where they failed. Excellent. That's why we have this entry target. This is why we have these stops. And there were quite a few of them that just didn't even meet the entry. We never got into them, so they didn't even stop out. They just didn't meet our goals. So this is what we're looking at here, and we got a lot of good winners here. PCYC, that made the premium list. I never got into that, and I think it was the next day it gapped up 15%, 20%. So he found it. Okay. CenturyLink. Oh boy. CTL. Oh my gosh. Okay. This thing's probably like, oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh boy. I feel bad for this bag holder who bought it 45.67. I went out and got a CenturyLink tattoo on his forehead too. Okay. So anyway, CenturyLink, worst company in the history of business. All right. So anyways, so we're looking pretty good here. I'm not going to analyze all these, but again, if you go to the premium portfolio, you'll see I got the charts there. We got the premium table that we're on right now. And yeah, and so like through the week too, I'll try to analyze these a little bit and kind of see where we're at. But I got the targets listed here. Again, I have I got links to FinViz, which shows their chart. Do you play yourself and all the greens at entry? No, I don't play every single one of these. I don't have that much money. I don't divide my money. I don't play every single stock because this list could grow and there could be, well, I mean, this is a premium picks list right now. Excuse me. Only a few of these have hit our targets. And when a stock hits a target, I may not necessarily sell all of it either. I like to take my profits when I can. Okay. But it's important that if a stock's running, they say, minimize your risk and let the winners run. So if you got a stock that's doing what you want and it's running and you hit your target, you might actually want to buy more. Okay. Hey, this company is strong. It's doing what I think. You could actually keep buying lots as you scale up. Or if you think that the stock's, at a new high and it's probably going to run out of steam and the industry's changing, the market's changing, you may want to start scaling out. But if a stock goes up and reaches a target, okay, let's say it hits my 20% target, depending on the company, I actually might buy more, or I might sell 50%. I might sell 75%, and I might leave 25% there and then put a trailing stop on and let that little bit run. Okay. Again, I like profits. I like to take profits. I like to minimize loss. Okay. So it really kind of depends on what you think about the company and what your strategy is. I suppose I could lay out some different strategies here. I was reading Jesse Livermore's book this morning, and he was talking about that. And what he does, and he sets targets. And so say take target 1. Stock reaches it, he buys more. Stock reaches the next target, he buys more. He looks more long, okay? And he'll just keep dumping money into it. And of course, he protects his money. So he raises his stops, so trailing stops or whatever, but he doesn't just let it go. He doesn't use his original stop and lose 50% over 6 months. He'll protect it, but he'll actually buy more because the stock's doing what he wants it to do. He wants to meet you personally, Bill Gates. Well, I'd like to meet him too. Funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I've been near Microsoft and I've wanted to go do donuts on their front lawn, do some burnouts and whatever. Anyways, so that's that. So, do I play all these? No, because it's also important how much money you put down. If you're somebody who has, let's say $100,000, okay. How many stocks do we have here? I don't even know. I don't think it's going to tell me. 20. Okay. If you have $100,000, basically you determine how much you're going to play per stock. You don't want to throw 100% of all your money in one stock. Okay. If you don't have a lot of money, I still wouldn't suggest it necessarily. But say you have $100,000, you might play in $10,000 increments, $10,000 lots. Okay. So let's say you like Microsoft. The most you're going to put down towards that is 10% of your pool. So $10,000. Okay. That's the most you're going to play. So you're going to set $10,000 aside for Microsoft. And then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to start out with only of that $10,000, 25% of it. So you're going to make your initial purchase for $2,500. It reaches target 1. You put in another $2,500. Now you're 50% committed of that $10,000 of your portfolio, and it meets the next target and so on. You're not going to dump $100,000 in one. Okay. I don't have enough capital to play all these. Okay. What I'm showing is the strategies, my system, and trying to provide winners for you guys too. No, I don't play every one of these. If I did, there's 20 of them here. What would I play $1,000 on each of them? No, that that's too little. So again, all of it's all different. So, and it depends on your strategy as well. You may like bottom plays. You may like breakouts. You may like, so no, learning how to manage your money and allocate your funds and your strategies is important. You don't want to do 100% on one stock. So if you have 20 grand, well, maybe you want to break it up 4 ways. 5,000 here, 5, 5, 5. Okay. And then when you have $5,000, let's say 25% of your pool of money set aside for one stock, well, then how are you going to divide it? You may not want to dump 100% into it. You may want to put, test the water a little bit with, again, 25% of that. Okay. Somebody says here, in my case, I'm going to have only 15. So putting around 1,500 wouldn't be worth it. Well, again, I'm just saying, I would, if you have, whether it's 100,000 or 15,000, I would not ever throw $100,000 at one stock. No, that's just me. And sometimes people might do that if they're thinking that they're depending on what you need. Some people come in with $2,000 and they got to make rent money by next month. They're trying to double it and they throw it all in a penny stock. They won't be in business much longer. Okay. So it kind of depends on what your long-term goals are. If you want to continuously get 10% a month, let's say 5% a month, that compounds. You want to continually grow that. It doesn't sound like a lot. But looking at all these picks right here, if you were to play all these, you'd be up 6% right now so far this month. You're like, that's it? If you average all these out, it's 6%. That's wonderful in a month. You also got some winners in here. Okay. There's just so many variables to play, how to play this. I'll post some stuff. I'm doing some reading this weekend in addition to this stuff. I will look into this and I'll post some guidance, and I'll post some of the books on my list there too. On my books page here are the ones that I read. I don't, these books here are the ones that I have and I read a lot. This Jesse Livermore, this is the one I'm reading right now. I've read it 2 or 3 times. How to Trade Stocks. And he talks about how he plays with this money. He had millions of dollars. He didn't throw $1 million at a stock, I don't think. But he talks about his strategies. When the stock goes his way, he rewards it and feeds it more money. Okay. Or if you're a little more cautious, the market's a mess, you may want to protect your profits. And as the thing goes, you might peel off more money and take some profits off the table. Okay. Let's see. Super Trader is good. Where's the other Van Tharp book? Not this one. Am I missing it? Okay. I'll look. Van Tharp is awesome. But Jesse Livermore is good too. But I guess if I put in 5K in each of the 15, let's assume I hit 7% in total, like 2 + 3 + 2. Yeah. See, all right. Okay. I'm getting a few comments here. What I see is I look long-term. Again, when I traded years ago, when I started out, like everybody else, and if it's you, don't be ashamed of it because you're growing. People have high expectations. I've talked to people who, again, like I said, they're desperate. They need to come up. They got, their grandma needs surgery next month and they only need to turn 10,000 into 50,000 in like 6 weeks. They can't make their car payment, their rent, and they got $100 and they want to double it. It's just like, oh my gosh, really the key to the markets, why people are doing so well is they're protecting their losses. They're not losing money. You read half these guys in the books here, they'll tell you that. Livermore, Darvis, Tharp, O'Neill, all these guys, I swear. It's always been the consistent message is protect your losses. And I used to do it. I'd buy a stock and it goes down and I'd have hope that it's going to bounce. And I don't know anything about anything. And I have hope and I hope it all the way down to 0% and I'm out of money. Okay. Stops are the greatest things in the world. I love stopping out sometimes, especially when it proves right. Loco. I stopped out of Loco. I was bummed. I stopped out at like $30 and it came down to 20, right? Holy cow. And if I would have hoped my way down to 20, I wouldn't be here. So, but on the flip side of that though, is profits, obviously. Take a profit any day you can. Okay. And if you need to setting a goal of 50% or something like that is crazy to me. Even these best stocks in the world, some of them, yeah, they might go 50%, but to put that as a target, the probability of it hitting it is, you don't know. And so, but if you keep pull up a spreadsheet and start compounding 10%. Okay. If you're to take $10,000, I'm doing this in my head, take $10,000 and you were to add 10% to that. So then you have $10,100. Oh God, I hope my math's right. You add 10% and you turn around and reinvest that 10%. You get another 10%, reinvest that and you get another 10%. You do that, before you know it, you're going to have $100 million. Okay. If you do that, if you compound, say even $5,000 at 7%, if you were to actually get 7 and compound it after like 30 trades, you'd have like $3 million. It's just a crazy amount of money. And so to me, I'll take 10% any day I can. I love them. It's not a downside that I didn't hit 20%. I'll take 10%. I'll take 5%. To me, it's green. And what that 5%, if it means $50 to me, or if it means $3,000 to me, I'll take it, because I roll that right back in and I get another 5% on top of that 5% I gained. And you compound and you grow. And so it's the long haul. I mean, it's not like buy and hold, but it's the consistency you want. It's the confidence you want to trade. And you have a trading plan, you stick with it. You're not going to run on hope and greed. So wasn't even thinking of the compounding. Yeah, I'll post it. I have a spreadsheet, and it's something that I actually kind of hate to refer to, because it was something I had done long ago. And I had the idea in my head, well, if I get, $3,000 and I, keep getting 50%ers and you compound it. Yeah. After like 12 trades, you'd have $1 million, some crazy number. Like, it's unrealistic. Okay. So, but if you look at a conservative number, say $10,000 and you say 5%ers, and you keep capturing 5%ers and you roll that back in there. Now, it doesn't account for commissions. Okay. But doesn't count for commissions. But if you just, above your break even, 5%, and you keep capturing it and put it in the bank and keep trading it, it's going to grow. Okay. I played with the, said to wait more. Okay. Day trading is hard. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, you guys are staring at my books. Okay. Day trading is hard. Day trading is hard. Yes. Yes, it is. I could tell you, you ask anybody, it's all about discipline, having a trading plan, sticking with it, minimizing losses, taking profits when you can. Yeah. And then that's why I like sticking with the best companies. Okay. So, oh my God, we were an hour and a half into this. My goodness, we got to wrap this up. Okay. So again, looking at the premium picks list. Anyways, so far so good this week. Okay, here's the two I just added. It finally refreshed. Lock, Navgo. Let's take a quick look here. Lock. Oh, this is the weekly. Okay, so here's the weekly. So you can see we kind of have some support here. That's what I've drawn, kind of come back. It's not perfect, but we've come back down to that line. And what do we have here? We have the 100-week average line. We're holding that. This is the weekly. Okay. And so here we go. Now let me back out again. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit. LifeLock. Okay, so here's the line that I'd drawn here. And again, it's not perfect. That's fine. See back in here, we cleared it. Cleared above moving averages, pull back. Off we went. Found this area here, this blue line, this resistance here. You could probably do something like that. I see we came back to it way back over here. Again, we hit it again and again. Failed that. And then what did we, I don't know what we had here. I forget. That was just a few weeks ago. But it did this super 20-some% tank. And I was like, oh my gosh. Did not like the look of that. And it just continued to come down. So when I see like Loco, I used to look at Loco, I kind of roll my eyes like I'm not getting anywhere near that. But you know, that's the psychology of it, you know. But now we kind of come off this here. Now here's the 200-day, which is sloping downward right now. We're above it. And so that's where for this play, I put this up there. I put my stop down here. So right now my stop is at nearly 7%. And I put my target just underneath this line. I probably could raise it up a bit. So it's 19%. What do we have here as far as resistance? Besides the moving average lines, could maybe say in here, but it doesn't look that strong. We got this big candle, so this could really recover. Lock is not a bad company. I don't recall what this news was. Again, I try not to pay attention to a lot of that noise, but yeah, so we'll try this one. Again, we kind of got that bounce here. We're heading upward. We're clearing above moving averages. So we'll see what next week brings. My stop is $1 less than the entry. Earnings coming up. Okay, there's earnings. Next one's Avgo. Okay, so this is a new high play. Let me zoom out here so you can see a little bit. Let me jump to the weekly. Avgo. Okay, so this thing's just been down to 33. Broke out of this area here. Found new highs and just never looked back. Okay, that's in the weekly. Here's back to the daily. So we've come up to 105. We've actually cleared above 100, which is interesting. Where's 100? Oh, 100 is just at our stop. Okay, that's why our stop's just underneath 100. So what's this play? Stop is at about 6.5%. Sorry, this stupid screen here. Okay, so I have the target up there about 12%. So risk reward is 2. That's what I'm looking at. I like it. We have earnings coming up. So there we go. So those are now on the list. And yes. So these other ones met targets. PCYC, AKRX has met both. SNCR has met both. I put a third target in at 53 and change. See how we do there. UTHR met one target. IDXX met the first target. TSRA met the first target. CDK, SWKS, EA Sports met the first target. 49.67 just met that now. That's that. CAR is we're down 2% on that. Let's see what's going on there. Okay. So, yep, we'll let this play. So here's that channel. We'll probably hold that channel. Yeah. Okay, folks, that is it. I got a lot of work ahead of me still. So the let me get back to the screen here. Where am I? Okay. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. Okay, so these watch lists, I'll get the watch list updated with entry targets, basic plans there, what we're looking for, and I'll have to have those set because we'll be watching those. When they reach those targets, they will make the premium picks list. You can see the premium picks list is long, but we got a lot of stocks in play right now, so that's good news. So keep an eye on that. I'll post to the site. May not be tomorrow. I got a lot of work ahead of me tomorrow, but I will address some of the guidance that, about as far as position sizing and that kind of thing. It's really important. So I'll post that as well as some, I'll cite some good sources as well, whether it's Livermore, Darvis, or O'Neill, or Van Tharp. And I'll throw something together there. And I'll do some reading this weekend too. What else is I going to cover? Something else. I got to write this stuff down. I'm getting old. I got stickum notes everywhere around here. If there's something else I'm forgetting that I promised earlier in the video, please let me know. Because I will cover it, and there is something, and I'll probably remember it later. That is that. So, folks, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you have any questions, I'll get the video thing figured out. I apologize for that. And my intent here is I know with this Google Plus and the Hangouts, if I send you an invite, if you're in my circle and they send you an invite, you're supposed to be able to chime in and join with your camera and microphone. Ryder did that a couple weeks ago. And so that's why, and I sent it to Naor and his friend. I think it's his friend. He wanted me to add somebody else, and I did type that in and send an invite. So if you're in my circles and you get the invite, you should be able to click on it. And I don't understand why. So it could be on my end. So I will look into that and I will test. I have multiple logins. So thanks, guys. Everybody's got to go. It's almost 2 o'clock, 1:30. Oh, boy. Have a wonderful weekend. Keep an eye on the webpage. And if there's anything else you guys want to see, improvements, things that I might be missing that would be of value to you, let me know. And I'm working hard on all that stuff. So thanks a lot. And I love to hear your feedback too, guys. If you like the site and you like what you see, let me know. And tell others too. So thanks, guys. We'll have a good weekend. We'll talk to you soon.